Before I get into this video, I wanted to give an introduction as to what it is and what you can expect from the video. This video is a rant. I was running outside and I felt compelled, I felt inspired to make this video. It's basically a video of me ranting on where social anxiety comes from and also what you can do about it. So let's get into it. The root cause of your anxiety, your social anxiety, is that you think too much. I'm not even going to get into the practicalities of like going out and putting yourself in social situations, because that is the cure for social anxiety, is putting yourself in more and more social situations and getting used to those social situations. But the root cause of your social anxiety is that somebody put it in you when you were younger. When you were younger, you tried to take action, you tried to go have fun, you tried to speak up, because that's what humans do. We communicate with each other. But then somebody told you not to. Somebody told you that you're not good enough. Even right now, as I'm like making this video, I'm thinking like, wow, am I gonna make this video to like share with other people? What if it's not good enough? Those thoughts are coming in my head. That's literally what happens when you have social anxiety, is when you're in a social situation, you start to talk to another person, just like having a normal conversation. You try to connect with that other human being, and then thoughts come into your head that say, oh, what are they thinking of me? Do they think I'm cool? Oh, I'm actually not cool. Maybe I should just shrink and shut up and stop talking. Well, why does this happen? Because probably at some point when you were younger, actually at a lot of multiple points when you were younger, I don't know who it was, but your parent, your peers, your teachers, superior people to you, somebody told you to sit down and shut up over and over and over and over again. I know for me, I was actually just writing out my life a few days ago. I was writing out everything that I remember, like all the key moments from school and at home, from age, like as early as I can remember, like age 5 to more recently. I'm actually not done with that book that I'm writing yet, but it's not like a book that I want to be published. It's just like a book for me, basically, to, review my entire life. But so I was going back in time in that book, and I remember like at certain points in high school, I would like try to smile, and I couldn't do it. Like if I was smiling in front of a group of people, my face would start to like twitch, and I would just like shrink down. Like my face would start to twitch. I would get really embarrassed about that, and then I would just like look away or something. Like I'd be like having fun, but then like I'd feel like I was having too much fun. Like it was too good to be true. Like, oh my gosh, like, or like almost like I'm not allowed to have this much fun. And then like my mouth would start twitching. I would get like really tense. My face would turn white, and I would like tense up, and then I would just like look down. And I started to think about what caused this. And I actually remember like key moments when I was younger, like really young before that. So this wasn't high school. This was like when I was really young. I would kind of like laugh or like smirk or something, and then look at my dad. So my dad was actually I don't hold anything against him for this, but he used to like physically like punish me, with like a belt and stuff like that. But anyways, so I was afraid of him. I was really afraid of him. And when I looked at him, like with this little like smirk on my face, a lot of times he would look at me, because I was at certain points when I was younger, I was kind of a smart ass. And I guess I would annoy him sometimes. But a lot of times, I don't think I was that bad, to be honest, but a lot of times I would like annoy him. He didn't seem to like that. He didn't really seem to like it when I kind of like went wild around the house and just like had fun. So when I looked at him, a lot of times he would just give me a look, like a really mean look, as if to say like, knock it off right now or else. And then, I would stop smirking, and I would kind of like just shrink down. And I'm pretty sure that's where it came from. And yeah, so that to me has been like the root, like I've identified that as the root cause of this like issue where I can't smile in front of a group of people. But there's also probably a lot of other like emotional trauma that happened when I was younger, where I was just like petrified to express myself, especially like in like sexual situations too, because I feel like this isn't just from my parents, but it's from like society in general. They kind of like, what's the word, like mock, or they kind of ridicule sexuality, or they ridicule like people when they start to get, I don't know, when they say something sexual. For example, when I was younger, if I was like hanging out with a girl, my parents would be like, "Oh, you have a girlfriend now?" Just they would like tease me about it and make me feel very uncomfortable. Now I don't hold anything against anybody in my past. I really don't. The reason I'm talking about this is just to dissect it, find the root cause, and then make it easier to then solve this issue. So how did I solve social anxiety? Well, in short, I started approaching people on my college campus. I was in college a few years ago, and I just started approaching girls on my college campus, and because that was something that I was afraid of. I was afraid of approaching women and telling them that I thought they were cute or pretty, and I started doing that over and over and over and over again, and it helped a lot. But I think working on yourself on the inside and like finding the root cause of it and really just like letting that stuff come up and like dissecting where the stuff is coming from is almost equally as important as doing that, as actually putting yourself in social situations and teaching yourself that it's okay. Because I feel like you need to know where that anxiety is coming from, and then also do things to get yourself used to being in social situations. One of the things I started to do to overcome social anxiety, I remember the first thing that I did was I just started to make conversation with like cashiers at stores. So if I was like buying something at the store, like buying a stick of gum or whatever, like I would go into like a drugstore and then like a CVS or something, and then I would buy like a stick of gum, and I would go up to the cash register and I would say like, "So where are you from? What like," or or I'll give them a compliment. I'd be like, "Hey, like I like your shirt or whatever. Or I like that bracelet you have." And I would force myself to do this stuff because that stuff was really hard for me to do. I wasn't used to doing that. But usually when I went to stores and bought things, I just said, "Hey, how's it going? Thank you," and like paid and left. So it was kind of hard to actually ask, like, "Where are you from?" I mean, if you have social anxiety, you can probably understand that it's hard to do those little things. Now that stuff is incredibly easy for me because I've done it over and over and over and over again, and I've taught my brain that it's okay to do that stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about where the stuff comes from and what the root cause of social anxiety could be in your life. And you can't hold anything against anybody in your life. Okay, you have to forgive everybody, as hard as that might be. Because look, you're here. If you're watching this, you're alive. And you're probably, if you're watching a video like this, you're probably learning a lot about yourself. And you're in control of your life. That's one of the like obstacles in like understanding about yourself, is that you're actually in control. So you can take action to help your brain recover from what it's been through and help shift your brain to focusing on the things that you want to focus on, like in a conversation, instead of focusing on those thoughts that are telling you that you're not good enough. Focus on the actual conversation. But I think a lot of that rewiring happens over time. I think you have to just like put yourself in social situations over and over and over again, and then replace those negative thoughts in your head with positive ones. One thing that I did for a while that really helped me was I realized that I was waking up in the morning with a lot of anxiety. So what I did was I started writing down everything that I was grateful for, like shelter, food, family members that I loved, friends, like the family cat, like anything, and like things that I'm passionate about, anything. And soon after doing that, after weeks and weeks and weeks of doing it, writing down everything that I was grateful for in the morning, my brain literally just started to think about that stuff every morning. So you can rewire your brain, and it's possible. It just takes time. I feel like there was one more thing that I wanted to say. Nope, that was it. Yeah, look, it's important to forgive everybody in your life because you don't want to be that old person who dwells on, like, there's nothing worse, or I imagine there's nothing worse, because when I see it, it kind of disgusts me. When I see like an old person who looks back on their life and like blames somebody else, like I'm sure we've all met that old guy who like is like 70 years old and he's talking about how somebody wronged him like 40 years ago, and that's why his life ended up the way that it ended up. Well, old guy, what happened between like you being 30 and 70? Like what actions did you take? It wasn't just that one thing. A lot of like overcoming social anxiety is just releasing and letting go. Because like I said, those thoughts, it's like you have yourself underneath the social anxiety, like you're there. And yeah, it's unfortunate that you have like this overcoat of like environmental shit, that other people that put like negative thoughts in your head, or like experiences in your environment that put those negative thoughts in your head. It is unfortunate, but that's the situation. That's where you're at right now. And everybody gets influenced by their environment. Just remember that who you are, no matter who you are, it could be worse. I mean, unless you're the most miserable person in the entire world. I have no idea who that is. But anyway, that was me ranting about social anxiety and where it comes from and what you can do about it. Probably more videos to come if I end up posting this. This was kind of a rant. But anyways, peace.